Hello guys, and welcome to my first YouTube video. I hope you guys are amazing. I feel super amped and super pumped to present you this video. And yeah, we're thinking a lot about what to do and what to talk about on my first YouTube video. And I came to the conclusion that the most authentic and truthful way of presenting myself on YouTube would be my story. So I can truly say that my life has been transformed by psychedelics, and I can really say that psychedelics saved my life. And how did that happen? How did they save my life? So that's a big story. I will try to tell you the most important parts of it. It all started in 2013, 7 years ago, when my father just suddenly passed away, and no one was expecting it. We were all pretty shocked, and I fell into a deep hole. I was very sad, and I was back then a very unconscious guy. I was living my life in a very superficial way, pretty much doing my best, of course, like working, surviving, you know. I was in a relationship with a girl, and yeah, and then this depression just arrived, and I was just in this deep hole. And then on top of that, my girlfriend couldn't cope with my behavior anymore. I was really, I was not well. So yeah, she a couple of months later she left me, and after she left, the hole got just much more bigger. And while she left, I also realized that my father left a lot of debt. So I had to also, together with my mother, we had to reject the inheritance. So it was like, you know, it was his death, then my girlfriend leaving back, she was Swedish, so she left back to Sweden, and the financial hole. You know, I had no idea that my father had so much debt, and I had no idea that my father bought like properties and for another woman he had an affair with, and I also had no idea that I had a half brother. So that was a lot of information, a lot of challenging and traumatic things happening in my life, and I fell into this deep hole. And that was pretty much summer, because he passed away in January, and then slowly my girlfriend left, and then the financial situation arose. So it was summer when I had this huge like downfall, and all my friends were like, yeah, it's summer, Alex, let's go and party, let's go and forget, we'll drink away the pain, and we go to these parties. And I live here in the south of Portugal, and there's so many parties you can go in the summer. Every night there's a different DJ, every night there's a different just opportunity for you to party your ass off. So I said to myself, I have so much pain, I can't cope with this pain anymore, you know. I couldn't sleep. I was like awake, you know. I was during the night just awake, and I couldn't eat. I had no appetite. I always wanted to sleep pretty much the whole day, because I was so scared of like being awake. And yeah, then I told my mom, hey mom, I need help, you know. I need help, and I need a solution for this pain I have. I really wanted to kill myself, to take my own life. It was really a difficult situation for me. And yeah, my mom, she was 40 years married to my dad, and she went through so much pain, and it was such a challenging marriage for her, that she said when he passed away that she doesn't want to be alone. She wants someone, after all these 40 years of suffering, she wanted to be with someone who loves her. So she started online dating, and when I called her, she was already living in England, because she moved to England to live with with this new man, and I was super happy for her because I wanted her to be happy. And yeah, and I called her, and she told me, yeah, you know what, my new husband or my new partner, he has a daughter. He has two daughters, and one of them, she's moving from Holland. She was living in Holland back then. She's moving to Portugal right now. She just moved there, and she's opening a retreat center. And you know what? She's taking guests. She's accepting guests now, and you could be the first guest to go there. She does like rebalancing therapy, which is it's like a kind of a massage where you just have like people massage you, and they go through traumas you have in your back, and they open up those traumas, and those traumas, they're transformed into knots, into a physical those physical knots that you open up the traumas and you heal them. So I went there. I decided to take this opportunity to go to the north of Portugal. I live in the south. In the retreat center was in the middle of nowhere, so all my friends were like, "Alex, you're crazy, man. How can you go now in the middle of the summer? All the parties, you go into the middle of nowhere." But I said, "Yeah, I need this solution. I can't fight. I can't go, and I need to face the real problem. I need to face the root of the challenge, of the problem, and not just go for the symptoms." So I said, "Yeah, I'll do it." So I went up to the north. I took a train, and yeah, I arrived there. It was quite warm. It was summer. Beautiful, very very isolated area, and yeah, I was having a week of treatment and having those massages, and it was pretty nice. And it was a really nice lady, a nice woman, and she really accepted me into her family straight, and her husband, and it was a beautiful time. And we were having all these walks as well in the forests, and it was quite beautiful. And then after some time, she said to me, "Alex, I think you need something else. We've been doing the massages for a couple of days," and she said, "You know what, Alex, your depression is so intense, so strong, that we think you need something else, and I think you should do an MDMA therapy." And I was like, "Oh my God, MDMA? I've never taken any drugs. I thought I had a really healthy lifestyle, because I used to drink a lot, but I didn't take that into consideration, of course. I thought I was super healthy." And I said, "No, I'm not into drugs. Let's do only the massages. And I like nature. I like to go surfing, and I like to be outdoors. I'm not into those chemicals and that stuff." And she said, "Well, if you like nature, then we have also something natural. We also have mushrooms. You could do a mushroom therapy." And I said, "What, mushrooms? I heard that people jump out of the window in Amsterdam and they think they can fly. I heard people get like psychosis and they get crazy, and I'm not going to do that," I said. And then she said, "Well, Alex, that's okay. That's perfectly okay. No worries. We'll just continue. We'll just keep on doing the massages and everything. We'll see how it goes." Yeah, and then one day later, my mom arrived at the retreat center, and she flew in from England all the way to see the retreat center, and also to visit it for the first time, and also to see me, how I was doing, because she was also quite concerned about my state. And yeah, I was really in this heavy depression, and yeah, and then we were having breakfast the next morning, and it was really nice to be all together, and felt really like a family again. And yeah, then she said to me during the breakfast, "Alex, I'm gonna do the mushroom therapy tomorrow." And I was like, "What?" My mom was 64 back then, and I was like, "Are you serious?" And she's like, yeah, I'm doing it." And I thought, man, if my mom has the balls to do it, then I'm also going to do it. I'm going to do that. So I said, "Hey, I'd love to do it. Yeah, and then the next morning, they prepared really in the early morning. They prepared a super nice soup for me, where they cooked the mushroom. It was one big mushroom, and yeah, then they prepared a nice room where I could lay down on a nice couch, comfortable, super comfy, nice setting. They prepared a nice playlist, and I was just laying there, and my mom was upstairs in the same building with another therapist doing the session, and it started really intense. The experience was like fuck. It was super intense. I saw myself like literally walking through hell. I was like, I saw this like really skinny body. I was looking down at my skinny body, and I looked like Gollum, from Lord of the Rings. And I was like walking like really big. It was like really dark, and I was like, man, what is this? And I was like full of fear, and then I could see my dad, and he was like looking at me, and then like running away from me. Like I saw my sister, who lives in Germany. She was also like looking at me and then disappearing. Same to my mom, who was like also living in England. She also abandoned me. She was also looking at me and abandoning me. And the same to my ex. I saw my ex-girlfriend. Literally saw her, and she was also looking back at me and then vanishing. And I was like, wow. I was crying. Like kept giving me like tissues. I had so much pain inside of me. It was so hard. And then suddenly, the electricity of the room of the building went away. So there was no more sound. And I noticed I was like really in the middle of the peak of the journey. And I noticed that there was no more music. And I asked, "Hey, is the electricity gone?" And she said, "Yeah, it's gone." So she went outside to check if it was any technical thing or if it was general electricity in the whole village. And then she came back, and after a while the electricity returned. And then the trip went from like super negative, super dark, to super beautiful. So much light, and it was like, wow, it was beautiful. And it felt like, wow. It felt really enlightening. I was like on this beautiful island. It was like white sand and crystal clear water, palm trees, and it was so much light, like so much different than from before. It was so much darkness, and I was like so much beauty, and I could see myself sitting in the sand. I was sitting in the sand, and the water was not very high, and I was just looking at myself sitting there, and I look into the water, and I see the reflection of myself in the water, of my face. And I touch my face like this, and I look at myself, and I smile, and I see the reflection smiling at me. And then gave me the realization that, wow, Alex, no one is abandoning you. You are not alone. You have yourself. You have yourself, and you're not going to be alone ever, because if you are connected to yourself, if you have a relationship with yourself, then you don't have to always look for that on the outside world. You have to go first within and love yourself, accept yourself, and have gratitude for your own self, for your own existence. And that was this key point, turning point on my journey, this realization where I really realized that we don't always need, it's not necessary to always be with people. Because I was this kind of guy who always needed to be with people. I always had to be like people's places, or I had to go to parties, or I had to go to a shopping mall, and I always had to, I was always constantly trying to fill up that vacuum inside of me, that emptiness, by being with other people. And that moment just gave me that realization. It's not necessary. We can be happy on our own with ourselves. And from then on, it was a turning point in my life. So I started to go within, to find that path through my inner being and be connected to myself and ask the questions. And yeah, it's been a journey the last 7 years. And after that, I realized I want to work with these plants and with these substances and these molecules, because I feel the world needs them, especially us in our Western civilization. We need them the most. We need to cleanse ourselves. We need to cure and heal ourselves. So I started helping my sister at the retreat, learning from her and her husband, assisting ceremonies, cooking, cleaning during the retreats, during therapies, and just being of service, holding space for people and supporting. And yeah, it's been a journey the last 7 years. I've been doing a lot of journeys, a lot of therapies. I've been learning and connecting through these plants, and more I realized that that's my path, and that's what I want to share with the world. So anyway, guys, that's my journey. If you have any questions, don't forget to like and to subscribe. Comment below as well. And I wish you guys a beautiful, beautiful day. Much love and much light, and big, big hugs here from Portugal. Ciao, ciao. Have like people massage you, and they go through traumas you have in your back, and they open up those traumas, and those traumas, they're transformed into knots, into a physical form, and then through the massage they are transformed. Foda-se, meu. Caralho deste cão.